Hello, welcome to DualEntropy. When I do videos, I usually do a bit of research, not like heavy research, but just enough so that I don't spread misinformation. But today is just me blabbering. I don't know how much of truth it's gonna hold. I haven't done research to find out, but I just wanna talk about things. One thing that's been on my mind is just the state of the video game industry. It's really not in a great place, even though I think, there's an game revolution coming. That's mostly for indie games though. But in terms of like actual AAA game development, it's been a very bad few months. It's been a really bad year as well, with thousands of people getting laid off. And this just ex- exacerbates the issues that I want to talk about, which is just the lack of experience among game developers. I mean, yeah, there are issues with publishers and everything that they mess up, but I also want to talk about inexperienced developers and them being part of the reason for this lack of quality in the game industry. And this game is a perfect example. This game was made in 2001, and somehow the remaster of this game is significantly worse than the original. Sure, there are a few quality of life features, but anything good about the game comes purely from 20 years ago. Just look at the state of this game. Okay, let me open the menu, right? I want to look at the map. So let me open the menu. Yeah, that's yep. Huge frame drops. And I'm playing this in 2024. This definitive edition came out years ago, and they still haven't fixed it. Well, I'm using a couple of mods to make the experience tolerable. This is an awful state of the game. And you can't blame a publisher for that. This is just a very bad developer. And I think the reason for that is, if you're a developer who's really good at what he does, why would you bother working for a game development company anymore? Indie is so much more attainable. At least, you know, there used to be at least job security that comes with working in these big companies. But now that's not even the case. You can make a good game that sells, decently well, that's critically acclaimed, and still get laid off. So if there's no job security, if you're taking as much risk making a AAA game at a publishing house than an indie game, why don't you just make an indie game? Just make an indie game. The risk is about the same right now. Hell, indie games might be a safer bet. Not really. A stable salary is quite important, especially if you have a family and kids to look after. I can see why people would go for a regular 9 to 5. But that's what gaming industry has turned into. It's just 9 to 5 job, except they're making games instead of, I don't know, making paper clips. Like, games are right now made by employees rather than game developers. They're made by video game employees who go to the video game company and make video games. They're not made by game developers who are wrestling with the hardware to somehow get their vision out. The previous generation of game developers had to struggle and fight the forces and try to make these games under such technical limitations where they had to be creative. Now that the sky's the limit, game developers have started just sticking their heads in the gutter. Of course, there's a whole part where it's too risky to make a creative game, but they're not even trying anymore. There are more bugs in this game than the original game. How is that possible? All the textures are just AI upscaled slop. My biggest complaint with this game was just the atmosphere didn't look right. But then I found a reshade mod that I can put on, and it gives decent enough look. So it looks actually good enough that I can just walk around and it feels closer to what the original felt like. And it's not just this game. I mean, yeah, this whole trilogy was piss poor. And there's plenty of good videos about all the shortcomings of this game. And you can probably find plenty of those videos on YouTube. I don't wanna just harp on this game in particular. But like the people who make the games don't care about the games anymore. They're just there for the paycheck. And I know it's controversial to blame the developers for bad games. Games media loves blaming the publishers, but there's only so much you can blame the publishers for. The publishers aren't sitting over an employee's shoulder telling them to ruin that grass texture. Let's make sure that it pokes out of the concrete. But it is the publisher's fault for overworking under budget games that's poorly managed and comes out in a piss poor state with no additional support. Right? It is their fault for the existence of this. But I mean, come on. GTA Vice City was made in less than a year after they made this game, and somehow you can't make the game look good within that same time frame. And it's not to say that all game developers are bad. No. But there are bad game developers, and we need to acknowledge that there are bad game developers. I mean, and just so those who like taking risks, those who like pushing the boundaries of an art form, they've all gone indie. And why wouldn't you? The only benefit of working at a game company is the stable salary, and that's it. Being an indie game developer is not easy. And yeah, I'm talking a lot of shit for someone who doesn't make games, right? So I am gonna make games. I do wanna be a game developer. At least a hobbyist game developer. I'm not gonna quit my job for game development. And that's another thing I want to talk about. I'll make a proper video, I guess, at some point. But the gist of it is that this year has been a year of YouTube for me. A year where I make YouTube videos and see how far I can get. More than the results, I just want to learn a few skills. And I've learned a lot. And in December, I'll make a video detailing how my journey went. But that's for December. For next year, I'm actually gonna make a game for 2025. 12 months, one game. And I'll document the whole journey on this YouTube channel, from the design process to the final release. I'm just gonna document everything on this channel because I do love games, and I really do. I really love games. I like playing them. I like thinking about them, about the designs of it, about the inside of it, everything. I just love video games. What other form of entertainment lets you just walk around in its world, soaking it in? That's what I want to do. I want to create these kind of worlds. I've been learning pixel art and learning Godot for game development. And I'm actually getting pretty decent at it. I'm not gonna say I'm getting good at it, but I'm getting not bad at it. I'll share some of my work, and I'm proud of these. I'm proud of that work. And if I can lock in for a year, try to get my vision out, I'm sure I can come out with something, right? And I'm not gonna make a complicated game. I'm not trying to make another GTA, right? That's not gonna be my first project, is making entirety of GTA. I mean, hopefully I'll get there someday. Not for my first game. For my first game, I'm just gonna keep it as simple as possible. I'm gonna make a game that any indie developer would take a month to make, right? They could make it in a month or maybe 2. And then I'm just gonna polish it. I'm gonna polish it and I'm gonna publish it on Steam. I think that's one of the mistakes game developers make, especially indie ones, where they underestimate how long it takes to make a game and polish it to the level of publishing. So I'm determined not to make that mistake. I'm gonna take a whole year for a game that would take an indie developer a month to make. So it's just gonna be simple: 10 boss fights. That's it. 10 boss fights and levels connecting in between. Maybe you talk to a couple of NPCs for the story. So I just want to keep it that simple framework, and I want to see how much I can do with it by giving it more time. That's the way I want to approach making this game, and hopefully it'll turn out well. So I just wanted to add that to the video as well, because I just didn't want to bitch about bad developers and leave it at that. I want to be part of the solution. And I said there's an indie revolution coming, and I want to be on the front lines of it, because as I see it, the traditional model is slowly dying. There are streamers who get more reach than AAA giant publishers. They got more eyeballs on them, and I mean, it's not like any games are being sold at retail. So that whole aspect of publishing is pretty much dead. So if you aren't self-publishing your game, then you're really making a mistake, I think. I'm sure there are some exceptions. There's always exceptions. But I think there's also a danger in growing too fast for an indie studio. Rockstar wasn't built in a day. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about a bunch of stuff. And now that I'm yapping anyway, so I'm just gonna yap about this channel. I don't really care about the views on this channel. I think that's abundantly obvious now. But I made a promise to myself that I would make a video every month of this year, and I haven't broken that promise yet. And so even if shit video that nobody's gonna watch, not even me, I still wanna get something out there. Because if I can do this and just do one video a month, then I have some confidence in myself that I can make a game. And of course, I'm just gonna do it part-time. I have a full-time job, so weekends and after work, that's when I'm just gonna work on my game. And I have some other ideas for games as well, some more complex ideas, more, let's say, maybe innovative ideas. But I don't want to make the first game my dream game, right? I just want to learn the process of what it takes to get from idea to sale on Steam, publishing, right? Once I have an idea, then I can actually plan better. Right now I'm going in blind. I have a whole plan from all the research I've done, but a plan only works till you get hit in the face, right? So I just wanna get in the ring, get hit in the face, and then adjust my plan. And that's what I'm looking for. So this will be October's video. This will come out on Halloween. I had an idea where I would talk about why I don't like horror games, but I already made a video about hating HUDs, and I didn't want two videos back to back being negative, but then I still made this video negative about game developers no less. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Should have just made the horror video, but I just didn't want to do the research and make a whole video. One thing I've learned in this entire YouTube project that I've done is that I don't really like writing scripts. I don't like the whole aspect of that part of the thing. I don't like. I don't mind the voiceovers. I don't mind the editing. Even footage collection is fun because it's just playing a game and recording it. But the actual scripting part of it, that's the tough part. And I've used ChatGPT a couple of times, but it lacks soul, to be honest. Just lacks that human element to it when I'm writing, when I'm just reading off a script ChatGPT generated. If you're still listening, I mean, kudos to you. Thank you so much. I'm sure even my own brother would have turned off the video by now. And hey, if you are listening, good on you for listening to me app. I really don't expect anybody to watch this video. Just kind of for myself. I think this kind of videos will be the most interesting for me to watch in like 10 years rather than my video essays. Like, these are the videos I'll look at in 10 years and be like, I'm glad I made those. I'm glad I have a recording of my thoughts at the time. And this is the before. Maybe I've given up on game development and that I've realized how hard it is and that it's not for me. If you're still here for some reason, thank you very much for watching. Last year I was really confused as to what I wanted to be. I mean, my day job, yeah, I'm a software engineer, and that's fun. But I did want to have something else that I work on to fulfill my creative, that creative itch, to scratch my creative itch. And I thought, hey, maybe YouTube would be that thing. As I've worked on YouTube for like 10 months now, it's becoming increasingly obvious that it's not for me. Yeah, I would love to be a famous YouTuber someday, sure, and have a million followers and a boatload of money. Yeah, of course, but that doesn't come out of thin air. You still need to make videos that people find entertaining or provide value. You still need to write a script for every video, or do research, or come up with topics. And yeah, maybe I branch off and do some other things. But for at least, till the end of 2025, I have a plan where, yeah, 2024, I'm just gonna do video essays and whatever on this channel. And then in 2025, I'm gonna make a game, and every month I'm gonna post an update on what the game is going to be. I mean, for me, this YouTube channel was always an avenue for marketing my game. Like, that was kind of my dream, where I would have this YouTube channel and I would have this tight-knit community, and then I would make games for them and have a set group of people who would be interested in my games. And I feel like I'm getting there, right? Sure, I don't have a whole lot of subscribers right now. It's less than 100, but it's closer to 100 than to 0, and that's really exciting, right? I might bemoan a video not getting views, right? But still knowing that, more people watched my videos than who I asked to watch my videos. Like, I send the links to my video to 5 people, all of them my brothers, right? And I don't expect to get more than 5. Hell, I expect to get less than 5 views. I don't think my brothers actually watch all the way through. Well, given my watch time, I don't think anybody watches all the way through. But that's fine. Anything more than 0 is great. And you know what? It's never gonna be 0, because I give it a first watch, always. This game is really great. I wish they didn't ruin it. God damn. I wish they at least kept up with it and patched it and fixed it. At least put some effort into it. It's sad that they just left it like this. I mean, the question is, why am I still playing this even? Why am I even bothering with this shitty port? It's because it's the only one that has achievements. Yeah, I could just download the old games and play those and be happy. But like, I've already played the game. I wanted Steam achievements. I'll probably make a video next month about why I stopped pirating games. I think that's going to be an interesting topic to talk about. Anyway, goodbye.